Good day, people of the internet. We are coming up on the 3rd anniversary for Guild Wars 2, and we've just passed the 10th anniversary for Guild Wars 1. And still I haven't done my Hall of Monuments. So, I'm starting up this new series where I show you how to get your Hall of Monuments. This is not going to be a short series. This is not a series you can just bump out in a couple days or a week, or even let alone a month. To actually get the most out of this series, we're going to be doing this for a year or even longer, depending on how long it takes. So the goal for this series is minimum, I want people to hit 30 points in their Hall of Monuments. I've already been doing a little testing for Hall of Monuments, and it's pretty easy to get points. The early on points. The long-term goal I want us to hit is 50 points in the Hall of Monuments. That's maxing out the title track and everything. That's going to take a while, and to actually effectively get this with fairly minimal stuff, or just starting from scratch, is going to be about a year. And also, I'm going to be doing this series as if you're by yourself, because you won't always have friends to actually help you out in this, because going back to Guild Wars 1, you had to relearn a bunch of concepts and everything. So I will be doing this mostly by myself, but I will every so often have people help me. And just having extra people there who know what they're doing and who are not just AI makes the game go so much smoother. So what you're going to actually need to achieve stuff in this series: 1, Guild Wars 2 to link your Hall of Monuments. 2, to get the most points effectively, you need all 3 campaigns, that's Prophecies, Factions, and Nightfall, and Eye of the North. Those are all Guild Wars 1 games. You can find those on the Guild Wars 1 website, Steam, or Amazon. After you get the games, you have to decide who is going to be your main character. The main character is going to be your character who does all your personal achievements. That's going to be reputation stuff, as well as doing all the hardcore content, because this will be your go-to character who can get through any content no matter what. So any campaign is going to work for this character. Prophecies, Factions, Nightfall, any of them will work. It's just going to depend on what you want to do with that character. Factions is going to be the one that gets you into the open world and gets you into Kainang City, where you can get to Prophecies and Nightfall the fastest. Nightfall is a decent pace. Prophecies is going to take you a while to get to Lion's Arch and embark to the other continents, because it's a very stretched out story, but you do get a lot more rewards of skills from that campaign than any other campaign, just from doing quests. But also, as I'll say in a bit, we're also going to have multiple characters so we can farm things. So your main character doesn't have to be the one who does all the titles and things. Like a Prophecies character, they have an exclusive title that makes them the Legendary Defenders of Ascalon. You can only get this if you're a Prophecies character, but your main doesn't have to go get this. You can have an alt go get it, and it can still be unlocked for your Hall of Monuments. And also, you don't have to have your main consume all the booze and the party items. You can have another character do that, and just go cash in the title when they have it maxed out. For the Hall of Monuments itself, as soon as you get to the Eye of the North, the actual outpost, and you enter the hall, you will automatically have the honor track, whatever it would be called, automatically unlocked. To unlock the other title tracks, Devotion, Fellowship, Valor, Resilience, you have to acquire some monumental tapestries, and you get these by completing quests in Eye of the North. You get 1 monumental tapestry for completing the first quest in the whole campaign of Eye of the North, where you finally get into the Hall of Monuments, and then you talk to some people and you get this tapestry and you can go dedicate it at one of these monuments. The other 3 tapestries you get are going to come from completing the overarching primary quest of the Azura, the Norn, and the Vanguard. But there is an alternative way to unlock all these monuments. The monumental tapestries are not character bound, which means you can send in several characters into this instance, grab these tapestries, and unlock the monuments on those characters, and then all your characters see them. So what I mean by that is, say my first character, my dervish, goes into the hall. She then unlocks the Fellowship monument. When my ranger who goes up there for the first time, he will see the Fellowship monument unlocked, and whatever I've dedicated there, and then I can go open up another monument. I can go open up Resilience, for example, dedicate something there. Then if my dervish goes back, she will see the Fellowship monument is still up, and the Resilience monument is up, and I can start dedicating stuff there. So the Hall of Monuments is actually an account-bound system and you just don't have to earn everything on one character. To actually get these points registered for Guild Wars 2, you first have to go into Guild Wars 1, dedicate something. Then, as soon as you log into Guild Wars 2, those points will be dedicated and you will earn the rewards with them. If you want to keep track of the points you're earning, you can look in Guild Wars 2 and they will come up in the achievement section. If you go to General and you go down to Hall of Monuments, it will show you all the points you've dedicated. You can also go to the Guild Wars 2 main page, and they have a Hall of Monuments calculator there that if you type in your character's name from Guild Wars 1, it will show you what you've earned. Now, for dedicating items to the monuments, whenever you dedicate something, it does not consume the item. So if you dedicate a hero to the monument, you still keep the hero. There's just going to be a statue of that hero up there. Same goes for armor, weapons, and miniatures. I'm briefly going to go over the monuments. I'll have videos dedicated to each of these monuments separately to actually go in depth on how to do these. So, devotion. This is where you have to get 50 mini pets into your Hall of Monuments. At first glance, most people think honor is going to be the most formidable monument to do. I think devotion is the most formidable monument to do because it's subject to lots of RNG, farming, and begging. So I'll have a couple videos out to show you how to get some of the more special miniatures that will help us. And when you dedicate a miniature to the monument, it becomes account bound. It cannot be traded to other players, but other characters can hold it. So if my dervish dedicates these miniatures, I can just stash them on my ritualist and they will never get in the way of any bank space or character space. Fellowship. Fellowship is the title track where you dedicate your heroes. The heroes you will be dedicating are all the heroes in Nightfall and Eye of the North. Any heroes in Guild Wars Beyond do not count. Mox is one of the unique heroes that is automatically fully upgraded as soon as you earn him. Once you go to the Hall of Monuments, you can automatically dedicate him. All the other heroes, you have to get them their special armor sets, which you have to go to challenge missions and gain that special resource and cash it into your hero to actually put them in the hall. Next track is Honor. Honor track is where you have to dedicate some titles. Now, I'm going to be showing you how to get a little over 40 titles, just so you have some variety and you can avoid certain titles. Some titles we will be ignoring whole entirely, but we may get by accident, are the Survivor title. It's really hard to get. We're going to be ignoring it. Treasure Hunter and Source of Wisdom. Don't be going out of your way to earn these, but we may get them through just earning them from progressing the game, which is really good. They actually help us progress other titles like the Luck and Unlucky title. Another title that we may get accidentally is the Skills title. Ends with a Z. This is from doing festival or holiday events, like their special tasks. So we may get this one accidentally from trying to earn other things. There's a bunch of other titles we'll get, but one thing to actually note, the one PvP title we're going for is the Zaitian Reputation title. This is us earning reputation with the Zaitians, which we'll be earning by spending Zaitian keys to actually boost that title. I'll talk about that a little more in a bit. Resilience. This is the monument where you have to dedicate about 7 armor sets, I do believe. And the armor sets we're going to be going after are the Ancient armor set. It's really cheap. The Vabi armor set, we have to get that anyways. The Obsidian armor set. We're going to go for the 3 cultural Eye of the North armor sets. That'd be the Vanguard, Zurin, and Norn. Because those are really cheap and we have to progress those reputation tracks anyway for the Honor monument. And we're also needing to get the Luxon or Kurzik elite armor set as well. For the Luxon or Kurzik armor set, if you're a Dervish or Paragon, you cannot get this armor set, so you have to have someone who is another profession earn this armor and then dedicate it in the hall. Next we have Valor. This is getting some of the elite weapons in the game. Destroyer, Tormentor, Tormented, and Oppressor weapons. I'll be showing you how to get these weapons through some special events or doing some quests, but for some of these we will have to do some farming, and I will show you how to do that. So, what is this video series going to be entailing? Well, I'm going to be showing you how to get certain titles. I'm going to be showing you class and party setups, how to run through certain content fastest and most effectively. I don't think that's grammatically correct. I will be featuring holidays and then how we can be doing these holidays to progress our Hall of Monuments. And I will also be showing you various other things I find helpful. Now, this series, I'm not going to be holding your hand for everything. A majority of this, you're going to have to figure out by yourself. Vanquishing areas, doing hardcore content, doing missions, but I will be trying to help you as much as I can. Now, on to the random tips that are kind of important for some of this stuff. First of all, Use lockpicks in early zones if you have the funds to do so. Using lockpicks will help you boost your lucky and unlucky title early on with very little consequence. But once you hit the higher end chest, this would be Southern Shiver Peaks, Vabby, Jade Sea, Echo Valley Forest, and beyond those points, use the keys in those zones. At that point, using a lockpick on those boxes is not going to be profitably worth your while. If you're on social media like Facebook and Twitter, the Guild Wars main site does have a Facebook and Twitter, and they will post on those social medias. They will post when holidays are coming up. Once or twice a month, they will inform you when special events are going on, such as doing a Zaician Vanquish is worth twice the amount of Zaician coins, or going to do Gaela Hatchery will give you twice the amount of faction points, stuff like that. Do keep your eye on that, they are very helpful. Have all your character slots filled up to farm mini pets every year. Every year we get a birthday present and then you get a mini pet. Very important for the devotion track. You also want these multiple characters so you can do quests and events multiple times to earn the rewards for them. And personally, I would say have 4 capable characters who can actually go out into the world and do stuff. The rest of the characters can just be pack mules for weapons or miniatures. Do your Zaician quests. They're very important. They help you boost reputation with other factions in the game. It helps you get lots of gold, and we'll get Zaician coins, which help us get the keys for the PvP title. To optimize gaining reputation throughout the game, if you really want to optimize getting the reputation throughout the game, I would say go do all the bounties in a zone. Do as many bounties as you can before the title track says you can't do bounties anymore. Then start cashing in the quests. But you don't need to worry about this too much. I'll be showing you how to farm the stuff anyways, because I've done all the quests before I did all the bounties anyways. And then when you're near the end of your fully repping this faction, so if you're almost rank 10 for the Sun Spears, before we do all the farming for it in events and repeatable quests, you actually need to complete all the missions, all the vanquishing, and all the quests for that faction. Because every time you do those, you're going to get a bit of reputation, and vanquishing supplies a lot of reputation. In all areas of the game except for the Prophecies campaign, Shenji Island, and Kainang City, there are going to be people at the resurrection shrines that you can talk to who will give you bounties for the zone. When doing your Zaician bounties, it's good to pair this up with the capturing all the elite skills on one character. So have a Signet of Capture at the ready when you go do these bounties, because the majority of the bounties are going to incorporate a boss that actually has an elite skill. When you're doing Zaician Vanquishes, make sure to explore the whole map, because you already have to go kill everything in the zone and make sure you got everything killed, so you might as well scrape every single corner of the map to get these points as well. Do look on the wiki when you're going to go vanquish an area, because it has some very helpful tips on how to actually vanquish effectively. It will have like, you can avoid this whole zone to get the vanquish done or whatnot. When you're going to go explore an area in the mission, I would say it's best to do the full exploring of scraping all the edges in normal mode, where you will not be really punished by really tough creatures. But still, once you can completely explore an area, go complete in hard mode so you know this area is fully explored. And in some missions, you will have to run through them multiple times. In almost every single mission, aside from Prophecy missions, you can go into the explorable zone and just go explore them. Prophecy missions are just their own separate environment. If you're having trouble with content, like you're just hitting a brick wall, there's a really good website called GWPvX.gamepedia.com, or you can just Google search Guild Wars builds, and they've got some really good builds there for players and heroes. I've been using some of the builds there and I've been loving it. It's made the game so much easier. But also, don't be afraid to use henchmen. Henchmen are actually decent. They are built to actually do what they're meant to do. So I was actually running through factions with a couple henchmen because they actually did stuff none of my heroes could do. There are 2 NPCs in the world that you might want to do. There's Nicholas the Traveler. Every week he will put up a bounty and you can go to him for that week and cash in these trophy items to earn some gifts of the Traveler. These are going to have booze in, they're going to have alcohol in them, some party items, just various items that actually help you progress some of these titles that we're going to be going for. Also some mini pets. In pre-searing, there is Nicholas Stanford, the same guy, but he's a daily thing. where you cash in trophy items and you'll get a gift of the Huntsman, and that will give you booze, rockets, and stuff. Earn these items, and then you want to use all the booze and party items on your main character because they need to progress the Alehound title track or the Partier title track. And also from these gifts, you can get also things that help you in combat, which is nice. And my last tip for you is use the wiki. The wiki is your friend. It has so much useful information on it. It can help you get past such hard content in the game. So I hope this was a helpful guide to get you started on your Hall of Monuments, and I hope to see you for the rest of the series, but until then, hit like, comment, subscribe, hit me up on the Twitters and the comments section below, and have a day.